So the Quantum Wellness Cleanse is 21 days to clearing out your body and clarifying your mind, feeling connected to the larger picture, and you give up all animal products, so that's meat, dairy, and eggs, sugar, alcohol, caffeine, and gluten. It's only for 21 days, it's not forever. I drink wine, so I think it's just a good idea to give your body a break so that your brain can start creating the feel-good chemicals and your body can get rid of the whole sugar roller coaster thing. But most of all, my sort of secret motive to the whole thing is to get people to go 21 days without animal products, and that way they really spend some time finding new foods that they love. They go to the grocery store, cook things from cookbooks or salads or whatever, and then they realize that they really don't need animal products in their diets. There's so much delicious food out there. So it just sort of, pushes us in the direction of expanding our taste buds and culinary skills. Yeah, I think for me, I had to lean into changing, because if I thought I had to go the whole distance overnight, I just wouldn't have been able to do it. I would have been overwhelmed. I wouldn't know what to do if I was going to a friend's house or out to dinner and they didn't have food that was vegan. So for me, I just gave up one animal at a time, because that gave me the space to, find foods that I liked, and I slotted them in. So it was sort of a transitional period where I was finding my way. And I think leaning into it gives you the space to mess up a little bit and find your way. So it's not such a difficult discipline, it's more of a joy, it's more of an exploration and an adventure. And that way you move slowly into this shift, but it's substantial, and then the changes stick. And that's the most important thing, because you don't want to do something like it's a fad and do a plant-based diet and then next year it's something else. You want this to really get into your core, know what you're doing, and then stick with it. Well, I always suggest, if you're going to give up one animal at a time, which is what I did, to give up the smaller animals first, because if you think of it in terms of suffering, so for me, what drove me was the ethics and the idea of I didn't want to contribute to more animal suffering. So if you give up eating the smaller animals first, that's you're saving more suffering, because one chicken can feed maybe 2 people, whereas one cow could last a year for someone. So it's more humane, actually, if you're going to continue to eat meat, to eat the bigger animals. It's not humane, but it's you're causing less suffering. Okay, so I was trying to be a spiritual person. I thought of myself as someone who is endeavoring to be conscious and aware and awake. And then when I started looking at how the food I was eating was how it was prepared, how it got to me, because at the time I was eating meat and dairy, I realized that I was all talk and that I was being a hypocrite if I couldn't actually overcome my taste buds, my immediate taste cravings, just because I wanted it for the bigger picture. And so to me, it's a challenge to always push past that little attachment, that little habit, that little want and desire in favor of a bigger picture. And I think that makes us more awakened, more conscious, more spiritually grounded, and that sort of feeds into the whole shift. It's almost finished, God willing. It's called Veganist, the 10 game-changing promises of a plant-based diet. And so it'll cover everything from obesity, so you'll lose weight, keep it off, and other promises. You'll prevent reverse disease, you'll live longer and healthier, you'll do the single best thing for the environment, bunch of stuff, and on down to you'll sow the seeds of peace and you'll be aligned with the wisdom philosophies. So it's kind of, again, it's a body, mind, spirit approach, because it's the way we eat. We're making choices 3 times a day. So it's not only I'm making a choice about my body and how much I respect my body and want to make it thrive, but also what do I really feel my effect is in the world? How connected do I feel to other life? So it's a body, mind, spirit approach. Yeah, I think this film, Forks Over Knives, is a game changer. I really do, because to see the science on the screen in such a simple, clear way, and then to see it manifested in someone. In the film there are several people who change the way they eat, and they dramatically change their health, whether it's diabetes or they're overweight or the heart disease. And so you see real people in a short time go through this magnificent transformation, and I think that's incredibly inspiring. And you've got also these incredible nutritional scientists like Caldwell Esselstyn and Dr. T. Colin Campbell and Matt Lederman. You've got them all talking in a very understandable way, where reading the books sometimes is just overwhelming with so much information. Watching it on film, you can really digest it.